While I'm building this website in the background, I figured this would be the perfect time to talk about something that every website owner, whether you're building a blog, a small business website, or even an online store, really needs to understand. And that's SEO, or search engine optimization. Now, if you've heard people talk about SEO before and it sounded like a bunch of technical stuff, don't worry. It's really not as complicated as it seems, especially if you're using WordPress. WordPress is actually one of the most SEO-friendly platforms out there, which is part of why so many websites use it. But even though WordPress gives you a good head start, there are still a few really important things you'll want to do to make sure your site can actually show up on Google when people search for topics related to your website. So first, let's talk about the basic idea of SEO, because a lot of people overcomplicate this. All SEO really means is helping Google understand what your website is about and why your content is useful. The easier you make it for Google to figure that out, the better chance you have of showing up when someone searches for something related to your business or blog. One of the most important things you can do is make sure your page titles and headlines are super clear. Every page and blog post on your site should have a title that matches what people would actually search for. So if you're writing about the best places to eat in Austin, your page title should literally say something like Best Restaurants in Austin. That way, when someone searches for that, Google instantly knows your page might be a good fit. Another huge factor is your website speed. Google actually pays attention to how fast your site loads because they want to send people to websites that work well. If your site is slow, even by a few seconds, it can hurt your rankings. This is why it's important to make sure your images aren't too big, you're not using a million unnecessary plugins, and your site is running smoothly behind the scenes. Now, something a lot of people forget about is mobile friendliness. More than half of all web searches happen on phones now, and Google knows that. So if your website looks great on a computer, but it's a complete mess on someone's phone, Google's not going to want to show your site high up in the results. The good news is most modern WordPress themes are responsive, which means they automatically adjust to look good on any screen. But it's still worth checking your site on your own phone to make sure everything looks right. Another easy SEO win is using clear links and simple navigation. Google looks at how your site is organized, so things like your menu, the way your pages link to each other, and even how easy it is for visitors to find what they're looking for all play a role. If your site's confusing to navigate, that's a red flag not just for your visitors, but for Google too. One last tip, and this is especially important if you're writing blog posts, is to use keywords naturally. Keywords are just the words and phrases people type into Google, like best coffee shops in Chicago or how to start a blog. When you're writing your content, it helps to use those exact phrases a few times, especially in your headlines and early in the post. But you don't want to overdo it. Google's smart enough to know when you're just stuffing keywords in for no reason. At the end of the day, good SEO is really about creating a website that's helpful, clear, and easy to use, both for your visitors and for Google. It's not about gaming the system or tricking search engines. It's about making sure your website is the best possible result for the topic you're covering. If you focus on that and follow the basics I just mentioned, you're already way ahead of most websites out there. All right, I'll let this website build play out so you can see how it all comes together. But hopefully this gave you a clearer idea of how to set your WordPress site up for SEO success right from the start. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next one.